What's going on, everybody? This is Fry. So it's your first day playing Bloons Cardstorm. I'm going to be showing you what is the very first things you should be doing in the game. Also, what you should be spending your tokens on, which cards to craft, what should be your first deck you should craft. So let's hop right into it. So the first thing, of course, you do is you go and play the tutorial. The tutorial will give you some basic cards, and I will show you what your first deck that you should be playing with after you have completed the tutorial, what it should look like. So here it is. You should be using Quincy and not Gwen. Quincy superpowers are a lot better than Gwen's, and they're going to be a lot more useful, so go with Quincy, and I'll just go through this deck really quickly. Going to be doing 3 Dart Monkeys, 3 Red Bloons. These are all the cards that you get for free right when you start the game and you complete the tutorial. 3 Blues, 3 Fortifies. You're going to get 2 Goldens from doing the tutorial. 3 Starma Arrows are a very, very powerful card that can do up to 300 damage for only 2 cost. You got 3 Tack Shooters. They give you some really high quality 3 Triple Shots, some high quality cards right when you're starting the game. 2 Yellow Balloons, a very strong balloon. 2 Pink, very good finisher because it has 0 delay. For card draw, I wouldn't run any of the supply drops or any of the other card draw. Instead, just run Black Balloon, which will draw you a card when it leaks or when it's popped. Same thing, you're also going to be running the 2 White Balloons. So this will be more than enough card draw that you're not going to be running out of cards typically in your game, unless you happen to draw all of your, 1-drops. They give you a Ceramic Balloon for free, which is a very powerful card mid-range, and then they'll give you 1 of each of the mobs. You have the 6 one that costs 500. This has 2 charges, so this is really going to give you a lot of power. And of course, the 1 copy of BFB. You should be taking this deck right into duels. You want to play and you want to do duels and against people. And again, this starter deck, you should be able to win a bunch of games with it. Even if you're losing, though, you're still going to be gaining charges for your quest. So the first thing you really got to do in the game is do your quest. Just focus on these, and then even if you lose a game, you're still playing basic powers and completing games. This gives you a lot of resources to craft. It's also giving you a bunch of monkey money. Just from the weekly and daily quests, you're getting over 500 monkey money just per week in this. And daily quests, you're obviously refreshing every single day. That way you're going to be able to buy your Open Greenfoot really in like a week or 2, and then you're Amelia Amazing again. It'll just take 3 or 4 weeks just from those. You're also going to be focusing on your feats, your adventure. These will eventually just focus on completing these, and you'll be able to get your basic resources, get all the starting heroes, and be able to craft all of your starting cards. Monkey money, I would probably say first for heroes, since they can only be purchased with monkey money, and then eventually you could start using them in the shop for, if there's a particular item, daily item that you want, like a random rare or maybe some random resources in order to craft specific cards that you want. So let me show you the first deck that you should be trying to craft. I will then play a few games online with that deck, and I will show you how easy it is to win games right when you are starting off your adventure here in Bloons Cardstorm. This is going to be the Quincy budget aggro deck. Quincy, of course, being the really good, the better hero, much easier, much more versatile superpowers. Now, this is an aggro deck. You're going to be really just trying to spam balloons into your opponent's face and beating them quickly. You'll be able to win games very quickly with this deck. There's no monkeys in this deck. You don't want balanced decks in Bloons Cardstorms typically, where you have some defense and some offense. You have to be laser focused, and a way of winning, and the way that this deck wins is going to be laser focused on just doing as much damage to your opponent's face in as little time as possible. Red Balloon you start with. This entire deck is also, of course, going to be comprised completely of commons and uncommon. You can see commons being the 1 little dart at the bottom, and uncommons, these are going to be all the cheapest cards in Bloons Cardstorm. I would craft 1 Swarm Red Balloon on top of the other red balloons you have. You just want 1 of these since it's not the greatest Swarm card. You're going to be including 3 copies of blue. You want to craft 2 copies of Swarm Blue, giving you a lot of extra, early game power. Fortify, you do start with these, I believe, so this will add a lot of extra damage as your cards are going to face. You're going to add 50 health onto them. You start off with your 2 golden balloons. You can add these. These will be, also, if your opponent accidentally hits these, it'll be giving you a lot of extra gold. Decent card. 3 copies of Green Balloon. You want your 3 copies of Storm of Arrows. So this is going to be one of the only defensive cards in the deck. Between your 3 Storm of Arrows and your Quincy Powers, because you're going to be playing Bloons every turn and gaining a lot of Bloontonium. So if you can play your powers, especially your Flurry of Arrows, and you're playing them smart, that will give you enough defense to hold off while your Bloons are leaking and attacking into your opponent's phase. For this deck, I would craft 2 copies of Stunned. This is going to be a quick way of really disabling one of their monkeys, especially if they have like Attack Shooter or something with the Defender ability that's very good against your Bloons leaking in. This will basically disable it, being a very good card. I would craft 2 for this deck. It's very cheap. It's a common card, so you can craft that easily. Swarm Green, I would craft 3 copies of. Bloon Strike, you want at least 2 or 3 copies of this. I'm running 2. Swarm Yellow Bloon, I would craft 3 copies of this. Again, it's a cheap card and it really does a lot for its cost. The Yellow Bloon, you start off with 2 copies. I would definitely craft a 3rd one. This should be one of the first cards you should craft as your 3rd Yellow Bloon. It's a lot of power for a 3-cost card, being a nice medium-sized balloon. Balloon and Biggin is 2 cards you should be crafting. Since you're running a lot of little red balloons, this will be a very important way of adding a lot of attack power to your beginner aggro deck. I would go for 2 copies of these. 3 of these can brick sometimes, but 2 should be just the right balance. They do start off giving you your 2 pink balloons, which is very good in an aggro deck. Crafting the 3rd one of these should be on the top of your priority list, because this is really one of the better finishers in the game, doing 100 damage basically automatically to your opponent's face. We'll include 1 copy of the ceramic balloon they give you for free, since again it's only a 2 delay and really does a lot of damage. And then the last card you should be crafting, which is a common, is 2 copies of Red Bloon Storm. If you have no balloons on the board, this fills your board completely with red balloons, and then you're going to be able the next turn to play your Bloon and Biggin, giving all of those balloons an extra 25 health, and you can basically finish off your opponent that way. Otherwise, you can really just again spam a lot of your little red balloons and blues and everything on the board, and then again the next turn you can Bloon and Biggin and grow all of them while they are hitting your opponent's face. And that's it. I mean, it's really just a few cards to craft. You should be able to craft these very, very soon after you start playing Bloons Card Storm. So now I'm going to jump into duels. I'm just going to be using this budget aggro deck that I just showed you, the first deck you should be crafting, and I'll show you how easy, again, it is to win right at the beginning with this deck. So for choosing your map, you want to be doing the ones that are making aggro stronger. So this is doing 10 damage every single turn to each hero, which is going, you want more damage. This is a very good one for us to keep, especially against Gwen. Thank you to Level 1 Pidgeydoo for subscribing. Just want to remind you, if you are planning on purchasing, or even if you're not, anything in Bloons Card Storm, I would appreciate if you went to Creator Support and entered the code FRYEMUP, all one word. That just is an easy way for you to help support the channel. Thank you so much, guys. Alright, so we have some cheap ones. I'm going to get rid of you. The better cards are the regular Bloons. Really? The Swarm are not as good because it's not as much damage per gold. So for this first one, I will spam 0, 0, 1. The reason I'm spamming these early is because Gwen has a power that costs 3 that does 70 to everything. So again, specifically Gwen, you want to be putting as much power on the board as possible. Stunned, obviously don't need to play that. We'll be just spending our gold efficiently, so we'll put a green balloon on. I could maybe save for ceramic balloon. It's pretty good. It depends what I draw. If we get like another like blue, green, or yellow, I'll just start spamming that. If not, I'll try to play a little slower and get 1 ceramic balloon on the board. That should be pretty strong. Dart Monkey. Yep, so Quincy Superpowers, the 30 shot, you really want to try to get up to 6, you know, which we really can, I think, this turn, if we can somehow, if we play 1 plus 2, every gold, of course, gives you a Bloontonium, so we will be able to get up to the free Perceptishot, the passive ability. And of course, you really just want to carefully always be able to play this 9 in order to bail you out in case of an emergency. I think I will I think I will spam here. We're going to be taking a little bit of damage, but we're doing more damage than we're taking, and that's the important thing. I'm not going to be playing these reds now because, again, of Firestorm. That's the one card you don't want to play into. He's got his 3 gold. He could potentially play that. We do have our passive up, so any Bloon he plays now takes a free 10 damage, and of course, if he plays a bunch of Bloons, we're going to flurry of arrows big time. Actually, we're going to have to get, like... We're going to have to actually get a smaller Bloon in order to do that. I probably should have saved, because I don't really have the Bloons to play this turn, I probably should have saved for 5 this next turn. We're only going to be making 4, but that's okay. Yeah, don't really have much to do here, so we can go 5. We'll have 9 this next turn. I think I'm just gonna pass here. You save from turn to turn. These red balloons, again, if I played them, they would just get popped by these monkeys, so I'll definitely wait on those. That takes some free damage. I should have developed the ceramic 1 turn earlier, just kind of waited a little bit patiently, thinking 1 turn ahead, but this is fine. We're doing okay here. The opponent really doesn't have a way of dealing with this big ceramic balloon right now. Yoink. Did get a yellow. So it's going to be 5 and 3, I guess. So we'll play the 3. If we go down, if we play 1, we'll have 3. So we'll go 3. Then we'll flurry. It's more efficient. This would do 90 for 9. This does 100 per 9. So it is always worth it to flurry if they have 2 balloons on the board. And we will play... It might even be smarter not to ceramic right now. Let's just play it simple here. I'm going to yellow. I'm going to stun this one. Just to, you know, that's a bunch of damage he's not going to be able to do. And I'll spam these, and we hopefully will be able to win next turn. We have 500 damage going into his face, so... Here's his Firestorm. We still have 210, though. And it's 170, and we have 50 damages in our... Oh, I don't think it's... No, this does 60 now, so that's going to be a lot. A little bit scary. We'll develop the ceramic balloon, and it's really good against the little monkeys he's running. So that's fine. We have 120 health. We're not going to die to a pink balloon, fortunately. So we're going to do... 2 and 5. Obviously, no need to use any Bloonsonium here. Let's get the music going on. Awesome soundtrack in this game. Turned that off for the intro, but... Keep track of our score. Here, we'll keep the score. We are 0-0. Having kind of one big balloon on the board is really good. He's not going to be able to pop this one. It's kind of free. Gets a little bit of damage from Frey.
Firebomb.
So we can go 50 plus 50. So again, these little cards are really actually making us, you know, we probably could defend against this pretty well, but this will actually make it lethal, which is funny. So that'll add 50 onto this, and then Bloon Strike does 50 damage directly to his face, and just like that, we win the game. Easy, don't gotta do anything else. Yeet.
Told you nothing gets past my bow.
So even though, again, he had monkeys defending, we were still able to push enough damage into his face since, again, he wasn't running like a really good control deck, which, by the way, will be the next deck I'll show you. I'll show you how to play, you know, a cheap budget control deck with late game finishers, which was sort of what he was trying to do, perhaps. He's probably just using one of the starter decks. But unless they're running that really, really efficiently with all of the right cards, this aggro deck will be able to push through any of the basic, you know, control decks that are just running the basic monkeys they give to you. So again, we're getting 10 damage every turn, which is what we want to see. So we will confirm we are the aggressors in this matchup. Swarm Red you can get rid of unless you have your Bloon Embiggen. Hopefully we'll get a chance to do that. Storm of Arrows should help us plenty, so this pretty good starting hand here. Not going to be able to play anything the first turn, but...
I am also Quincy, son of Quincy.
Son of Quincy. They really vamped up all the art and all the voice lines and everything. So we have a decision to make. I really can play the ceramic balloon like next turn. I think that is what I'm going to do. We'll go ceramic and then we'll spam these greens until he dies. It's gonna just be so much heat on his face with the ceramic balloon being developed this early. We are actually able to do blue balloon ceramic, and this does get our passive up. That's the reason I'm gonna spend the extra on that. Blue balloon there. And in case, again, he puts a lot of firepower on the board, we have the Storm of Arrows, so that should solve everything. Yep, so next turn we'll just put a bunch of green balloons on the board, and it's going to be a lot of pressure. It just takes 40. This is half of his health right here with the ceramic balloon, so nice getting that in early. Nice. Got a pink already, which is going to be really good, so we're going to go green. And green. No need to spend any Bloontonium here, obviously. And just like that, we got 400 going to his face. This pink balloon might very, very well just win, like, this next turn, you know? Defender. He should be saving the shots from this, if he knows what he's doing. Plays fine. Yep, so this defender does 70 damage. It does, again, defender plus 10, so it's 35 and 35.
Take that.
So I don't think we have lethal quite yet, because we need to do 410. This will be 270 damage. It'll be 370. It's not quite lethal, so we'll just play for one more turn here. We're going to Flurry of Arrows.
You can all have some.
Which is very effective. I'm gonna go 1, 2. I'm just trying to think if he has he'll have 5, so he can add 100 onto this. Yeah, we're really safe, so we're just gonna keep on pressing his face here. If he could add, you know, he can add 100 with his, like, Bloon Strike or a pink balloon, something like that. But, yeah, this should be fine. So we have a probably insurmountable amount of damage on this board right now coming in next turn. And he's going to be 170 damage off lethal here.
This is
Storm
my
Arrows is fine.
signature.
Hopefully it hits the 60. It does, so we lucked out on that. And this is lethal already, and we still have, like, pink balloon coming in, and he's just gonna concede. Or he'll play it out. Yep. That's 260, and easy second one.
Told you nothing gets past my bow.
Let's play one more game here. Just showing you guys how it's done. And, yeah, then we'll wrap it up, and I'll start, showing you guys some more decks. Really every gameplay video with something new to show you. Some new deck, a new way of playing and having fun in this game. Players start with one extra card in their opening hand. This is okay for aggro. It means we can, like, keep a really low curve. and spam a lot of cards early. So since we're getting all these cards, I'm not going to keep ceramic. Basically just lower the curve here a little bit. We won't keep Bloons Strike in our starting hand. You want things you can develop.
Really? You want some?
We're gonna light this up.
So we want to play these red balloons before the opponent is able to fire. Oh, he could firestorm. Well, if he firestorms into just this board, it's totally okay. But yeah, it's turn 1, 160 damage. It's pretty significant. Develops a Sniper Monkey again, a very slow, not one of the greatest, it's okay, but it's not really one of the best monkeys in the game because it has a 2 reload time. It's not going to be able to do anything for a couple of turns now, so we'll just develop another threat here. And pass. It's got a lot of defenses. We'll see again if this is a really strong defensive. I don't think people know which monkeys to craft. That'll be next video. I'll show you how to play a more defensive deck. So it's either 3 or 2+2. I think it's just going to be 3. We'll keep the pressure going here. Again, we could have played stuns, which basically would represent 70 damage, but for 2. Probably maintaining pressure and then activating our perceptive shot ability. Oh, this guy's got burning stuff mortars. So here's an opponent who's playing defense and actually knows what he's doing. They don't give you this when you start the game. This is going to be one of the first cards you should be crafting if you're making a defensive deck. So we're playing against a good opponent. Happy to hear that. So, I probably should keep spamming here. I think that is what I shall do. The most efficient is this is 200 for 4. So we'll keep doing that. I can also go, actually no, the most efficient is like this. 1, 1, 2. This would be more the time that we would use stunned in order to negate his defender here. But yeah, this burning stuff mortar, hopefully it'll hit one of the 60s. It wastes the damage a little bit. He's exploiting my passive using golden balloons. Good player. Great player. Firestar. And now his burning stuff will, well, hit the 30. So that's fine. This is tough. This is not going to be an easy game here. I wonder if not hitting these. I kind of want a flurry of arrows. It does give him a couple of gold back. I think it's going to be worth it, though, to actually do this. It's just so much more efficient. These are both reloading, so we could actually just pass this turn and save.
You can all have some.
Yep. It's a questionable play, I admit it, but I think that overall taking off the damage here and making this, giving us a little bit more leeway to set up here should be fine. We do have 8 cards in hand, so we have to spend something. This will absorb the 70 here. So I think we're just gonna pink. What developing pink here does is basically makes these 2 monkeys not do anything this next turn. We'll have nothing left on the board. And then we'll try to develop a lot of things as possible and hope, you know, as many things as possible and hope he doesn't have a, hope he does not have a second firestorm. That's the thing that's going to kill us here. So we're going to not play around Firestorm. We're going to set you up and you. And again, these are all just to try to absorb shots from either the mortar or from the defender, which will be active. And then we are going to just try to spend the other 7 as efficiently as possible. So it's going to be 2. 2. We can shoot this one.
Take that.
And 3. And now we're developing a whole bunch of balloons at the same time, which makes it a little bit harder for the opponent to defend. Really, this mortar, if it hits one of the reds, and then this will basically always hit red, red. We should be in really good shape if he doesn't have, again, a second copy of exactly Firestorm. Wow, he's shooting these manually. I guess that makes sense, since they do only 20 to these red balloons. It's gonna heal? Wow. Then again, he hit something that, you know, was pretty low anyway. So that's awesome. Bloon Biggin does a ton here. So here it is, guys. So it's going to be 3 plus 4. And the Bloon Biggin is not only hitting 8 balloons right now, but a lot of this is just going face immediately. 320, I guess, minus 30. So that's awesome. And the stunned we can probably end up using on the tack shooter. Oh, we'll see. But yeah, both of these are now reloading still this turn, so he's really just got the one Bernie Stuff mortar. And that'll be it. Attack shooter.
More firepower.
That one we can stun. That'll be our stun for sure. He burned this one. He's not really worried about his face quite yet. Hopefully the Bernie Stuff hits here. I think we'll win. Exploiting our passive. It's okay. The one little gold, I don't think it's going to make a big difference. Yeah, so unfortunately this hit, but this is going to do 65. 65 plus 50 is 115, which is how much health he has. So this is going to, as long as we stun this one, this is why you run stun this deck. It's taking off 80 damage here. And then we can add this damage. And then we can hit him with this, and then we can hit him with these. It's all BM, doesn't matter. It's a lethal amount of damage going into his face. Whee! And that's it. Nice to show you why we're running stunned in this deck. It really, again, for 2, represented 80 damage there, which was a lot for 82. And, yep, so you can win. That was a good opponent, though. You can win these games pretty easily with, again, the most budget deck. I'll obviously be, as time goes by, several times a week, be uploading new deck ideas. They're going to be more expensive in the future. I just wanted to start off showing you guys the budget decks, the deck that everyone can and should be your first deck to craft. You'll be able to win a lot of games easily and be able to get those resources doing your daily quests and stuff in order to craft whatever you want in this awesome game. I've been playing for quite a while. We were playing it in several betas, and now the game's finally out. I'm here to stay. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to support me for free, be sure to use the code FRYEMUP under creator support. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. This is Fry.